السلام علیکم ناظرین، آپ دیکھ رہے ہیں پروگرام ایکسپرٹ ایڈوائس اور میں ہوں آپ کا ہوسٹ شکیل احمد۔ ناظرین، پاکستانی طلباء، پاکستانی نوجوان اور پاکستانی سٹوڈنٹس کینیڈا میں اپنی اعلیٰ تعلیم کے بہت زیادہ خواہش مند ہوتے ہیں، اور پاکستانی سٹوڈنٹس کی ایک بہت بڑی تعداد آلریڈی کینیڈا میں اپنی اعلیٰ تعلیم کے لیے جا بھی چکے ہیں۔ تو آج ہم ڈسکس کریں گے کہ کینیڈا کے اندر موجودہ حالات میں وہ طلباء جو وہاں پہ موجود ہیں وہ کیا فیل کر رہے ہیں، اور اس کے ساتھ ساتھ ایسے طلباء جو کینیڈا میں اپنی ہائر ایجوکیشن کو جاری رکھنا چاہتے ہیں، اپنی ہائر ایجوکیشن کے لیے جانا چاہتے ہیں، ان کے لیے تھامسن ریور یونیورسٹی کینیڈا میں کیا ڈفرینٹ آپشنس ہیں۔ تو آج ہمارے ساتھ موجود ہیں مسٹر توماس، جو ریپرزینٹ کرتے ہیں تھامسن ریور یونیورسٹی کینیڈا کو، اور آئیے ان سے ڈسکس کرتے ہیں، بات چیت کرتے ہیں اور ایکسپلور کرتے ہیں کہ ان کے پاس پاکستانی اسٹوڈنٹس کے لیے کیا معلومات ہیں۔ Thomas, thank you very much for joining us right away from British Columbia, Canada, and we are much obliged for your time that you have given us today to discuss with our audience, especially Pakistani students.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Great. Thomas, could you please elaborate about the current situation with respect to COVID-19 that's going on there? I'm sure there are few cases and the things are going better. I mean, the cases are getting reduced day by day. So please let us know about the current situation regarding Corona.
For sure. Thank you for that question. Yes, there's a lot of uncertainty going on for sure, but the situation is improving quite drastically here in British Columbia in particular, with down to a handful of cases, maybe 10 cases a day. Nothing in the city where we are located, which is outside of Vancouver. So things are looking up. We're still looking at doing a full semester fully online come the fall here. So we're still taking lots of precautions, but yes, the situation is improving quite a bit.
Okay, that's really great. And Thomas, you were talking about your kids to drop to school, as before recording we were discussing. So what about the schools? Are they open and kids are going to school there in Canada?
Yeah, so primary school kids are back in school now. They're in for just a month and then they're back out again for 2 months of summer holiday. But yes, schools opened up about 2 weeks ago. So that's primary schools. Universities are still out and will likely be so for the next semester as well.
That's really great, and great to know that even school are open and kids are able to go to school and they can enjoy their study. That's a great news. Moving ahead, tell us a little bit about your university, Thomas, and let our audience know what are the different programs they can opt for coming intake, I mean the September intake they can choose to study over.
Yeah, absolutely. So the name of the university is Thompson Rivers University. We have a great Pakistani community on campus, and we're very proud of having that community so strongly represented. They generally pick a good variety of programs, ranging from your undergraduate business programs to your science programs to your arts programs. We see some going for our engineering programs as well, and then we see some more mature students as well coming for master programs, whether that's data science or environmental programs or the business area. But yeah, we're very proud to see the Pakistani community so engaged, and we just got ourselves a new 13 to 14 team cricket league. So we're very happy about that, and we know Pakistani community is taking a strong interest in that.
That's interesting, and that's really great that Pakistani community students are contributing to your university a lot and adding value there. That's something very positive. Thomas, what are the different, as you have mentioned, you have variety of different programs. So what about the fee structure, and most importantly the eligibility criteria for undergraduate programs and the postgraduate program? So what you have to say about?
Yeah, so generally we're looking for 12 years of schooling. So we are looking for your A levels to get into a undergraduate program. If you've been doing well in those A levels, we can also offer you some transfer credit. When we're looking at eligibility into our master level, we're looking at a undergraduate degree of 4 years, 3 or 4 years, with a English test as well. So usually that English test, both for the undergrad and and what's called the post-baccalaureate level, would be an IELTS of 6.5. For the master level, it's usually 6.5, but most of them would be 7.0.
All right.
So right now, all of the IELTS centers are shut down right across the globe. So we have introduced a new test called a Duolingo test. It is fully online. You can do it from your home. There's no need to go to a test center and sit in a big crowded space. So that's called Duolingo.
Okay. So, Thomas, the situation is not as easy as we can think of everywhere in the world. So, how much you're optimistic to say that student would be capable to study in person on campus for coming 1 or 2 semesters there in Canada?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So we are looking to be doing it fully online in the fall, except for a couple of programs that really need on-campus participation, such as our nursing programs, education programs, fine arts programs. But yes, most will be doing their studies from back home, fully online. And we've made a number of different accommodations to help you get settled. To study at home for the first semester, there is going to be workshops over the summer preparing you on how to set up the most effective study environment at home, as well as some financial resources to help out with some of the cost of potentially buying a laptop or a tablet or whatever it is that's going to help you with getting set up at home. Come January, right now we have full steam ahead that we're going to be on campus having our courses in person. But yes, come the fall, we are looking at online for most programs, but I would be very surprised if January isn't on campus, seeing where numbers are at already when it comes to Corona, as well as all of the resources and all the efforts that's been put into keeping it that way.
Okay, that's great. And of course, as you have mentioned, you're optimistic that students would be capable to resume their classes in person on campuses right away from January 2020. So moving ahead, if we talk about the fee structure for different courses that you have mentioned for undergraduate and postgraduate, so tell us in general that what is the cost involved to study there at your university for any year?
Sure. So it's easy with the undergraduate programs because most of them fall under the same fee structure. So generally, a student will be doing 5 courses per semester. We are looking for 8,900 Canadian dollars for those 5 courses.
That's very economical.
Yeah, so that's Canadian dollar. So if you take it down 25%, you'll have the American dollar. So yeah, compared to other Canadian universities, I think we are competitive that way, and somewhat closer to what colleges would be charging here in Canada. Then for our master programs, it gets a little trickier because all of them have their own fee structure. But one example I could give you is our MBA, our Master of Business Administration, which is always popular. It would have a average cost or maximum cost, of 44,000 Canadian dollars for 2 years or 4 semesters. The first year is what's called a graduate diploma in business administration. So if the student is coming in with a substantial background, both academically and professionally in the business area, we can usually take some of those courses away, and then they only have a year to a year and a half to complete, and obviously that takes down the cost as well.
That's fantastic. That's absolutely fantastic for the students. That and I believe it's not too cost for the students to bear to study there in Canada. And most important, and the relevant question associated with the fee structure: what are the scholarship that you guys are offering for undergraduate programs and the postgraduate program for the international students, please?
Yeah, so currently all of our partial entrance scholarships would be available to our undergraduate students. We don't have anything at this moment for our master students, but we do have a number of different options for our undergrad. Usually it's somewhere in the 20 to 25% of tuition for students who have exhibited strong academic performance in the last 2 years of study. So that would be your last 2 years of high school. What helps a lot of students here in Canada is the ability to go out and find part-time work as you are in your program. So this is not necessarily something you would be allowed to do, say, in the US, if that's where you're going for your studies. So generally, between the smaller scholarships we can find, the ability of the student to work when they're in Canada, either part-time throughout the academic year or full-time over the summer, as well as fees and general living costs being a bit lower, I think that's how a lot of students are making it work for themselves and their family.
All right. Thomas, a lot of different international students, once they come to your campus, they come to British Columbia there in your state. So along with their studies, they even look for a part-time jobs, a part-time hands-on experience work. So what about, what you have to say about the prospects for the students to work part-time, keeping in view the current situation, who come in future to study their semesters there?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, the situation has been a little more uncertain here over the last couple of months. We were happy to see that the students who were out and had employment were covered under the Canadian Emergency Relief Benefit. So they were receiving basically employment insurance if they had lost their part-time job or their full-time job. So we were happy to see the Canadian government did help out also for international students. When it comes to kind of getting a part-time job in normal times, I would say the chances are very good. Of course, it takes some tenacity on the side of the student. You have to go out and do your interviews by yourself. But generally, yes, we see students finding jobs. I might not count on it if I was a student for the first semester, maybe the first 2 semesters, just because when you're coming back to school, we do have a lot of other kids coming in at the same time. So there's quite a bit of competition. But generally, we see a higher percentage of students finding part-time jobs when they're at Thompson Rivers University than other similar British Columbian institutions.
Oh, that's fantastic, great. And as Thomas, you have mentioned that the coming September intake is not possible for international students to resume in person on campus. So do you guys offer online option for student? If a student from Pakistan are accepted for admission at your university, so are they allowed to pick up few courses online here while staying at home?
Yes, so September would be online, and yes, you could start from home if you have been accepted to your program and you have your study permit in hand. We've had students do fully online courses over the summer for some of our programs, and the feedback has been good so far. And we're just getting better at it. Teachers are just getting better at it. We're putting more resources behind it. So I think it might not end up being that bad of a situation. It could actually turn out pretty nice to start studying at home, stay with your parents, stay at home where it's a familiar environment, and then you do the jump abroad in January.
All right. And Thomas, this is not the right time to apply for a visa, but if anybody has accepted for admission from your university and has started studying online classes and has paid the courses fee to your university as well, but what if the visa is being rejected later on to move to while he will be applying for visa process? So would that fee would be refunded to the students he utilized for the courses he studied?
So he wouldn't be able to start the courses in September without his study permit at this moment. So right now, we're still kind of holding our breath, seeing what the Canadian government is doing, whether or not they can pick up all of the visa processing for September. If not, who knows, the rules may change. But right now, you need to have that study permit so we don't get into that situation. Otherwise, you would be asked to defer your start date to January, where the Canadian government would have a chance to.
That's clear. I believe this is not the right time for students to apply for a visa, because as the embassies, the borders and everything is closed. So I mean, we could say this is not the proper and the right time to apply for Canada especially. So Thomas, let us know our audience and students about the application timeline to apply there at your university, and what are the intakes students can apply for. So this timeline would definitely be important for the students to know about and to prepare their application in advance to avoid any kind of delay, or you can say to save the time.
Yeah, absolutely. So if we're looking at our undergraduate program, so that would be our bachelor's, our diplomas, our certificates, usually we can have an answer with you in 5 to 10 business days if we have the full application package. So that is, you fill out your application form, you'll be using something called the BC Education Planner. Okay. You would be paying a $100 Canadian application fee, non-refundable, and then you will be uploading your supporting documents. So that is predominantly your high school transcripts, and that is your English test if it is available at the moment. Okay. If we have that full package, 5 to 10 business days, and we should have an answer with you. If we're looking at our master programs, it takes a little bit longer, and it takes a little bit longer because your application has to go to the graduate committee who assesses your application. So 4 to 6 weeks is kind of what you're looking at for our master programs. Now, one thing to keep in mind with the master programs is that we need original documents submitted directly to Thompson Rivers University from your home university. So again, that could be a little tricky in this situation.
That's great. And you will be looking for the original documents. So the respective university has to transfer these documents to your university then?
Yes, that is generally what we're looking for. For our undergraduate programs, we do eventually need to have originals too, but you can bring them along with you in an envelope with a stamp on it that says the name of the sending school and sealed and unopened.
Okay, that's great. And Thomas, if the students opt Thompson River University, Canada as their higher education destination, so what do you see the future prospect for the students there?
Yeah, for sure. That's an excellent question. So in British Columbia, the ministry that oversees all public universities is called the BC Ministry of Advanced Education. Every couple of years, they survey graduates from all the BC institutions, asking them, are you employed? How much are you earning in your employment? And out of all similar institutions in the province, all the public universities, we're doing the best when it comes to employment outcomes, both earnings and unemployment-wise. So that's something we're very happy about. And that has a lot to do with the extensive co-op or cooperative education department that we have, which offers paid internships, relevant paid internships to our students. So I think employment-wise, students are looking pretty good when it comes to their education at Thompson Rivers University. The other thing is, of course, can you stay in Canada after you're done? 2-year academic program, you will be eligible for a 3-year post-graduation work permit, which is an open work permit, meaning that you can take it anywhere in Canada. It doesn't have to be British Columbia. You can go to Ontario, you can go to the Maritimes, you can go to Saskatchewan, wherever you might find a good paying employment or an interesting city to live in. Within those 3 years, you have a couple of different options when it comes to your permanent residency. Either you go the provincial route or you go the federal route. So the provincial route is what's called the Provincial Nominee Program. The province of British Columbia and the other provinces are looking for people with particular skills, whether that's in IT, science, healthcare, the tourism sector, and they give them a little bit of a fast track to stay long term in Canada as a permanent residency. Otherwise, you go through the federal program, and that's basically a point system where they're looking at a whole raft of different things. One of the important things being your Canadian experience, your Canadian work experience, and your current employment language abilities as well.
Okay, great. And Thompson, as you have mentioned the future prospect for the students who opt for their higher education at your university, but let us know a bit more about the job opportunities or the part-time works that student can do while studying there at your campus.
Yeah, so where we are situated here in the BC interior, so we're kind of foothills of the Rocky Mountains. We got maybe 5 to 6 world-class ski resorts within driving distance. So people coming in from all over the world, summer and winter. So the tourism sector is huge. So that's obviously where a lot of students would find their first part-time job in restaurants, hotels. Tourism sector in general needs a lot of part-time work. So that's a good place to start out in your job search. It may not be relevant to what you're studying, but it'll get you going in the Canadian work environment, making a little bit of extra money on the side and getting some experience that can help you take the next step. Generally, it's a pretty diversified economy here. You're going to have your banks and your financial institutions. You're going to have your government institutions, large healthcare sector in town. Mining is a big industry here. Manufacturing and so on. So there's going to be a bit of for everybody. When it comes to your co-op internships that the university will help you line up, those are full-time, relevant, and they can be done anywhere in Canada, North America, the world for that matter. And we do have an extensive co-op and career department that will help sit down with you and say, this is how you interview for your job. This is how you put together a Canadian resume. These are the questions you'll be asked. So there's a lot of support services, both to go out, support you in finding that part-time job, and also out helping you find those up to 16 months of paid relevant internships when you're with Thompson Rivers University.
Excellent. These are the good opportunities students can avail while studying there. And in the end, Thompson, if you have any question or if you have any message for Pakistani students, so you can go ahead with.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so I know it's a trying time for everybody. Even in the best of times, moving abroad, studying, there's a lot of questions, a lot of uncertainty, and this whole COVID situation being added on top of it is not helping things. So what my message is to you guys is really just hang in there. There is a ton of support services on this side that are right there for you to access, whether it's academically, whether it's financially, whether it's emotionally or wellness centered. We are here to support you. There's a lot of people on this side waiting to help you out. So get moving on it. Even if it doesn't happen in September, there's going to be a January intake, and this whole COVID situation is eventually going to work itself out. So get working on your future. It's a great time to do it, and I think Thompson Rivers University is an excellent choice if Canada is your study destination. And yeah, again, there's a ton of support here waiting for you when you join us online in September or in person, hopefully in January.
Thomas, thank you very much for discussing all these things regarding studying option at Thomas River University, Canada for Pakistani students. We are much obliged again. Take care of yourself and your family. Thank you very much again. Bye-bye.
You as well. Bye-bye. Thanks for having me.
जी तो नाजरीन, आपने प्रोग्राम देखा जिसमें थॉमसन का ये कहना था कि अगर सितंबर के अंदर पाकिस्तानी तलबा जो कनाडा के अंदर नहीं जा सकते तो इन पर्सन देयर आर 100% चांसेस टू स्टार्ट देयर क्लासेस इन जनवरी इनटेक. तो जनवरी के लिए आप अपनी एप्लीकेशंस या जो अप्लाई करना चाहते हैं कनाडा के लिए तो आप डिफरेंट यूनिवर्सिटीज़ से रब्ता कर सकते हैं. आप अपनी एप्लीकेशन को प्रोसीड कर सकते हैं. इसके साथ साथ अपना और अपनी फैमिली का बहुत सारा ख्याल रखिएगा. हाजिर होंगे अगले प्रोग्राम में एक नए एक्सपर्ट एडवाइस के साथ. तब तक के लिए इजाज़त दीजिए. अल्लाह हम नासिर.